Sweet. Well, yeah, I guess we'll get this started now, guys. Again, this Spaces is going to be covering our Consortium Key Alpha Pass. We've been talking about that for a while now. The recent trades, Nate and Arnold have been making as far as NFTs go for ACYC, as well as, our thoughts on the land sale, which we've already touched on a bit. But yeah, we're very excited for this Spaces. So, the market recently, it's been in like a pseudo bear. I think it's kind of interesting what's going on. There's a lot of volume across the board, but nothing really sustained across collections except just a few. Bored Apes have been doing very well. We saw Moonbirds, which was like completely unprecedented. Insane amount of volume in day one. I think it's highlighting, the effect that VCs will have in the space, as they move in here. It's kind of what we've been dealing with as sort of as volume and liquidity thus far in the ecosystem has been like peanuts compared to what they have to offer. And Moonbirds was a great example of that. As far as what we've done for trading, just to go over that real quick, Nate, if you wanted to touch on that, the trades that you were making as ACYC on Ka and a few others, I think people would love to get caught up on that.
Yeah, sweet. So we've talked about it before in some of these spaces. What I'm about to go over, I'll cover it in like 45 seconds total. Just trading the trend. So when it's a female avatar NFT project trend, buy something that's undervalued to get exposure. Same thing with Ka and Ku, two tokens that we traded as ACYC. Once Moonbird released, Ka and Ku released as well. It's rumored that they're tied to Shiba, the Shiba developer. None of that is factualized, but nonetheless, we entered a Ka, Ku, Cluck, Quack meta for tokens. And basically we went long, and I think thus far we've gotten roughly about 140 to 150,000 from at least just Ka as ACYC, doing a few flips. It's now running back turbo, as they say. It's up almost 2x from the bottom, but we haven't been trading it recently. We've been focusing on other things at the moment. And as far as Ape token goes, this is absolutely incredible. We profited once Ape token released. We haven't really been trading it as much going, as time's gone on, because so much of it, in my eyes, is speculation, which everything is. But, you see right now what happens when the founder releases one tweet saying, no Dutch auction. Wow, this is just incredible volume. So yeah, that's pretty much what we've been doing as trading so far. And as Boggart touched on, like it might feel like a bull market in a lot of places, but for the general market, we're in a bear still. Like these Solana NFTs are in their own bull, and the general bear has no effect on that. You can have your own bull markets within bear markets. So yeah, right now, name of the game: stay afloat, get a goal, get a mission. The things we're looking at long term and short term are ape, post land. If we get some incredible dip, like down to $14, we'll definitely buy that and flip it for 18, somewhere around there, test some supports. And we'll definitely be looking at codas. Hopefully they're releasing, but now everything's just speculation. And we'll also be looking at land. And then, a little bit of mindset tools for to tie that together. If the land goes incredibly well and we have 8 to 10 Ethereum floors for the Bored Ape Yacht Club land/deeds, then maybe look towards the World Wide Web lands or the NFT worlds or any other land aside from maybe Sandbox at the moment, because I'm not really sure what's going on with them. I haven't done my research. But look at other lands. It could have a ripple effect, and that's what we'll be looking at as well. We'll also be looking at the world token and hopefully meme season. And when I say hopefully, this is probably like the best chance we've had recently. I've said for like the last 4 or 5 months. It looks like late May, early June, and we're still looking at that future for meme season. Never really figured what a catalyst might be, but it's pretty apparent right now that hopefully Elon buying Twitter will be enough to start a meme season. I have a feeling it will. He's been absolutely on a rampage when it comes to trolling everybody on Twitter currently, which is another form of memeing. So I do have a feeling, a strong feeling that the prediction of late May, early June is correct for the start of a meme season. I'm looking at Satyama currently, or Satyama. It looks completely bottomed out. It could go down a little bit further, but I'll have some diamond hands once I buy for like at least a couple weeks to a few months. It just depends on the duration of this meme season. If Bitcoin, Ethereum go to the moon and Doge follows, because Doge, everything just goes with each other. Then months, but otherwise just a month or a couple month long meme season. That's pretty much thoughts on the market for what we've been doing as ACYC and what we've been looking at with our funds so far. Cool.
Sweet. Yeah. I think that was a great summary sort of what we've been looking at and what we're doing. As I mentioned before, the Moonbirds drop happened over the past few weeks. That was insane amount of volume. It was, the largest single day volume on an NFT release ever. And obviously, the floor topped out around 40 ETH, which is just absolutely insane for such a large collection in such a little amount of time. I think, we're going to be seeing a lot more of that kind of stuff as VCs move into the space and get more exposure here. For them, it's nothing to throw a few thousand ETH into a project. So when they have their eyes set on something, we're going to start seeing much more volume than we've ever encountered before. And that's also going to be adding a lot of liquidity to the market overall, So, back in the day when Wall Street was buying our bags, now VCs are going to start buying our NFT bags, maybe to a certain degree. So going to be keeping our eye on a lot of collections like that, that they're going to be looking at upcoming drops. I think the ape land sale is definitely going to be something that a lot of VCs are targeting. So I think we're going to be seeing a lot of money flowing into the space now. But again, we are kind of in a bear. I know it doesn't necessarily feel like it when you see Bored Apes trading at their all-time high and things like that. But if you examine closely at collections, basically every whitelist mint is like a mint and flip. And nothing is holding sustained value. Larger collections across the board are going down. I've been paying attention during the hype leading up to this ape land sale, and you can see just sales every single minute on the Moby feed. Every collection people have been dumping for ape land. So it's a very interesting time in the market. But again, as Nate said, those are the things we have our eye on. We're going to be looking at the other metaverse land plays on the tail end of this, the same way that when the female profile picture was the meta, we were trying to scoop up the alternatives from the main ones. It's going to kind of be the same thing with the metaverse plays. So that's kind of where we are at with the market. Nate, you think we should go into the consortium key now?
Yeah. Let's introduce the consortium key. Do you want to kick it off, or do you want me to draw the vision?
You could start us off, and then I'll get more into the details.
Cool. So we've talked about it with ACYC, the community, for a while, quite a long time, that we had always envisioned releasing a membership for an alpha community or tools or anything that we've created and nurtured for the ACYC trading side of things for the longest time. So as everyone knows, we have a Solana NFT trader, we have Ethereum NFT traders, we have staking, yielding, shorting, longing, just about every financial instrument you can imagine. And we have tools that we've developed for them. For the degen side of things, we have Pan, which can snipe new listings. So as I just mentioned, snipe new listings in terms of new tokens that get released. So as I just mentioned earlier, the fact that I really do feel like a meme season is destined to happen late May, early June. If anybody's been through a meme season or a hype token season, pretty much 1 out of every 10 token that launches does a 10x in the first 10, 20, 30 minutes on very low liquidity. Some of them end up doing 100x to 1000x that day with large volume. And it's a bot war once these tokens release, because everybody's just trying to gamble. This is where our bot that we created, or our algorithm Pan, that can be used by anybody, would come into hand. You would load Pan up with a couple Ethereum or however much you'd like, and say, check to see if this is a rug once it launches, check to see if the contract is renounced, check to see all these things to keep you safe. And if Pan says, yes, this is good, then Pan will make a small investment. You could set it to like 0.05 ETH, or you can set it to 0.1, you can set it to a whole Ethereum, it's up to you. And that's what one of the many tools we've created for ACYC. And we've never been interested in just, turning into a company or a project that sells tools, or turning it into an alpha community, because we already have enough alpha communities. What we've always wanted to, create is a community of people who are trying to make it. And when I say make it, you can have already made it. Like, technically, I think I would consider myself someone who has made it, but it's always better even if you've made it or if you haven't made it, to have everything, the tools you need to keep making it, to keep making the good decisions, to keep, your head on a swivel and stay informed. So a lot of like current alpha communities, there's like a range. So we have Proof Collective, which focuses on giving the background of, artists and projects. They'll do some deep dives into some artists and some projects. And it's a lot of people who, there's 1,000 passes. The cheapest one's 100 Ethereum. These people you consider have already made it, who might know something or thing or two. And so that pretty much sums up Proof, and, airdrops, et cetera, et cetera. You also have other communities such as the Metaverse HQ. They post a weekly roundup. They post a daily report on all these NFTs. But for the most part, they just have like an alpha chat when it comes to talking about tokens, where everybody just it's a Wall Street thing. You just yell out and everybody hears. And so what Consortium, and then the last one would be, you also have alpha communities that give you tools. So tools to snipe new listings on NFTs, tools that give you utility to see market data, to follow the hottest wallets and see their movements and give you notifications and pings, basically to keep you alert on how everything's moving. And then you have Nansen tools, where you can do all of it yourself and get all of the wallets and addresses, the people that you want to track. Consortium Key is kind of like a well-defined combination of all of these communities. The Consortium Key would give you access to a community where every tool that we build out, such as Pan, such as Bimus, such as any of those, members would be able to use at their discretion. Obviously, they can't resell it, but they can use those tools. And we'll always keep building out new tools. Then on top of that, members will get categorized and specific tracking on wallets. So when I say that, if anyone's ever used Nansen, you have to go out and say, like, you want to see what Nate Rivers buying and get pings. You go out, you find Nate Rivers' address, and you add it manually. Well, there's a lot of Nate Rivers, there's a lot of people, and we'll go out and we'll find all of them from the different categories. We'll find the wallets for the NFT communities you want to follow. We'll find the wallets for, the crypto callers. We'll find the wallets for everybody, and just set it out so that the community can benefit from the work that we put in to finding the people to call. So like, sometimes I'll be sitting in bed and I will get a notification from Discord that says, clerk or DeFarmer or somebody bought a token, and I'll click on that token from my notifications and it'll take me to our Discord and it'll show me the token that they bought. Or if somebody minted something, say Pranksy minted 100 or something, I'll get a notification. I go to the Discord and I see what he minted. And then I can go and decide if I want to do that. And I'm not going to leak anything, but we have in the past mentioned that we're looking at making something where you can mint a project if we do get like another NFT bull season, mint a project from the Discord itself. So if you see Pranksy does it and it's legit and you're not at your computer, we might have a way that we can either do that through our Discord or And then the last two things that our community would have, so we'd have tools, we'd have information for you. The last two things would be education. So we will, have analysts go through and break down the hottest projects. And when I say break down the hottest projects, like when it's peak NFT season or when it's peak crypto season, you might not have time to look at every single thing, every single project, and do a deep dive yourself. And so we will get analysts to go through and do deep dives. Sorry, one sec. Do deep dives on these projects and give us detailed reports. So the purpose of the Discord is to get fed information. So we will have analysts go through and do deep dives and give bull scenarios and say, like, right now, you're not in the Doodles community, but the Doodles might have a lot of stuff planned that might send them to the moon. If you're not motivated to go out and stay connected to the Doodles community, you're going to miss that moon. We'll have deep dives on what's coming up for the Doodles and why it might be a good idea. Or we'll have a market analysis on how much something has pulled back, what's the community sentiment, all this type of information to help you make a better choice and help give you conviction in the choices that you're making. And then lastly, it'll be community. We'll have the goal of this is to not open a Discord, like pretty much as far as it's planned. There'll never be an open enrollment phase for the Discord, like maybe for general chat or something. But for the most part, this is going to be, hush hush, but more of a shout. So we want to get as many of the people that we believe would benefit each other and benefit from being part of the community and bring them into one area where they could, at the beginning of your morning, you open our Discord and there's like a daily report for what's going on, what's coming up this week. There'll be wallet trackers be like, oh, this project minted out. We'll have all of this information where you can go bada boom, bada bang, bada bing, and then hit the chat room and see what everyone's discussing on multiple sides of the fronts. So that's kind of what the Consortium Key will give you access to, is a Discord of that nature. But beyond that, I don't. There's not much beyond that, but that in itself, when you generalize it as it was just described, it's kind of a lot. So I don't really want to talk too much into everything you'll see, but I'll hand it off to Boggart for the moment.
Yeah, I think Nate did a great job summing it up, and I'll kind of do the same thing. The Consortium Key is basically, like a comprehensive server with tracking for all of the things that the biggest, most profitable people in the space are doing. People have public wallets. People also have hidden wallets. There are also, there are public whales, but there are silent whales that, bank tons of money off of shit coins or off of NFTs, the unsung heroes of the space, where we have them too. We've compiled hundreds of wallets together. We are filtering out, the trash, that auto mints to certain wallets. When you're a big wallet like Nate or, me or Pranksy or Mev Collector, you have a lot of people minting automatically to their wallets. It's not legit. Our server does filter that out, so the notifications that you get are legitimate. So holding a consortium key sort of gives you access to the analytics and movements of these people and let you get in on the ground level of the same trades as the most profitable people in crypto and NFTs. Up to this point, it's been up to individuals, as Nate said, to sort of scour the blockchain for those wallets and trades that the people are making. We at ACYC and the Consortium Key have done that hard work for holders and are building like an ever expanding archive for this information that'll allow holders to see all of those things happening in real time. And of course, not only is it about, tracking those movements of the most profitable people in the space, but it's also going to be about providing an expanding repository of tools for holders to take advantage of those opportunities. These will be available after launch. So at launch, it's going to be the information, the community, and then soon after, we're going to be releasing the tools, Pan and Mimus. As many of you know, like Nate said, Pan is our early entry protocol for buying shitcoins, meme coins right at launch. It can even be set up so that it buys the max amount allowed. A lot of tokens, when they release, they have a maximum purchase size. Having a pan lets you get in with the maximum amount possible. And Pan is very configurable. You know, if you decided that Pan was running well and you wanted to run 5 wallets with Pan, you can do that. You can have 5 wallets, you know, max purchasing tokens right after launch. So yeah, if you're tracking, you know, if you're in the server and you have it set up that you're one of the shitcoiners and you want to be receiving alerts on the shitcoins, you can get those. You can have your version of Pan entering them. Same thing with Mimus. You know, if you see Mev Collector minting something, you know, for example, a few weeks ago, Mev Collector, who's come out of the shadows, minted Ghostly Ghosts. If you had received those pings, whether it was from his main wallet or his, you know, his untracked wallets, untracked by others' wallets, I should say, you'd be able to use Mimus to execute on minting of those assets. And not only does Mimus mint, but Mimus distributes funds to wallets. And if the mints aren't successful, it does not even use the gas. So, you know, Mimus is very sophisticated. That will also be available to holders. And then, you know, we'll be using funds from the mint to further develop, you know, these suite of tools, develop more tools, arbitrage bots, all sorts of, we have a lot of fun ideas I won't leak that we're going to develop, as well as, you know, using funds to build up the community and the people involved that are going to help us compile information relevant to the space. Next to that, how to get the consortium key. Allow-less opportunities are going to be made and presented to the biggest and brightest communities in the NFT space, expanding the ecosystem available to include the smartest minds around and provide opportunities to profit to the best communities available. Of course, we haven't forgotten our ACYC reflectors, holders of our token, who will all be, of course, given opportunities to get whitelisted, as well as having certain thresholds of token holders being automatically whitelisted for the sale. Thus far, we have not announced the quantity of ACYC tokens that it will require to be automatically whitelisted for the sale. All I can say as far as that goes is there will be a threshold, and on top of that, we have guards in place so that nobody can be gaming that system, you know, just pumping and dumping ACYC in order to get a whitelist spot. So, you know, we're not necessarily going to announce right now the threshold for tokens, or, you know, when snapshots or our other means for choosing those limits are going to be made. But just know, of course, the ACYC reflectors are not forgotten. And not only that, you know, the ACYC Alpha channel has been killing it lately. A lot of that community we, of course, want here in the Consortium Key, you know, and we're going to be making some very good moves, selecting some people that we feel have displayed expert acumen in the space as far as calling shitcoins go, or NFTs. And we're going to be setting up systems for these types of people to be able to, first of all, holders will be able to opt in to the types of pings that they want to receive, both as far as alerts go, and also alerts that they'll be getting from people who are able to ping them. You know, a problem with a lot of alpha communities right now that you join is it's just a spam of alerts and pings. And I personally end up just muting these channels. So the Consortium Key is going to resolve that by having opt-in roles for individuals in the channel. Like I said, you know, if you want to trade shitcoins, you can be tagged as a shitcoiner. If you want to, you know, degen NFTs, you're a degen. We're going to have nice things for that. And then, yeah, we're going to be taking on some of the best people in the space and in our current community to, you know, sort of be allowed to ping people with that role. I think we've been discussing internally also sort of voting systems so that as time goes on and certain members show their skill in calling, you know, proper coins, proper NFTs, the community will be able to vote in, you know, new, not leaders, but pingers for everyone who has those roles. So as the community expands, so will our arsenal of team members that are, you know, helping everybody utilize the information available in the space. So that's kind of the summation of the Consortium Key. You know, we don't want to give too much away as far as where we are going after Mint. As I said, though, you know, we're going to be building an ever-expanding repository of tools to leverage the information available from holding a Consortium Key, as well as, you know, developing the arsenal of information and the sources for that. You know, there are always more wallets, there's always more information, there's always more ways to track what collections are minting quickly, who's minting what. And so, you know, we will be ever expanding as far as that goes. And so I think that sums up the Consortium Key pretty well, Nate, unless you have anything to add, right? And then we can move on to
Yeah,
questions.
sweet. Yeah, we'll do some questions. I just wanted to finish up the generalization of this too. The consortium key won't be like a 10K collection of keys. It won't be super duper massive. Uh, the feel for it, as we both like tried to mention, is in other discords you have a lot of people shouting, and I don't mean to I don't mean to marginalize people, but sometimes when you're playing a game such as trading or flipping, you want to be playing with other people who you can confirm are, as you know, on the same playing field as you. You want to be, you always want to talk sideways or up. You never want to talk down, or you never want down to talk up. Uh, and so the consortium key will kind of, like Boggart said, like it won't be a giant whitelist. There will be a fair number of the keys, and the goal is to create a concentrated amount of information flow where you don't have to, like, some of the things that I've found, you know, the most frustrating with alpha communities, because and making our own semi-alpha community, we've had to do a lot of market research. And one of the most frustrating things is having to, you know, in the morning, if you want to scroll through and see the general vibe, it'll take you hours and hours. Like you cannot catch up. Some of them go so fast. So there will be information. It's like your daily fix. It's like when you have a Snapchat or an Instagram, every day you'll want to wake up, you want to open your Discord app and see if there are any pings that you selected for you, because we will, like Boggart said, you'll be able to say what you want pings for, and we'll ping you for them. And there'll also be a steady amount of information coming in and highly curated feeds where you can go and then get the general feel. So, Boggart, you're still there, right?
Yeah, I'm still here, and I did also forget to mention Twitter tracking. That is something that we're doing too. You know, Gary V, for example, tends to follow projects before he buys them and pumps them. So do many other people. That is also, you know, that kind of information is also going to be available in the Consortium Key server. But yeah, I'm still
Cool.
here.
Yeah.
Just wanted to
So, for us at least, our NFT Solana trader Arnold got us a bunch of these OK bears. The profile picture that I'm repping, he got us a bunch of these OK bears at like 10 or 20 Solana. But if you aren't on the Solana chain, if you are an Ethereum person, nobody shilled you OK bears the first day. Boggart, do you get anybody that told you to buy OK bears the first day?
No, no. Arnold was the only person that I knew that was
And then
hitting the
who
OK
was
Bears.
who was the second person that shilled you OK bears?
I think his name is Nate Rivers.
Yeah, his name is Nate Rivers. And I showed them to Boggart and my other close friends because I went to the alpha communities and I searched the word OK Bear. Nobody was talking about it. And if they were, all they like it was every like 4 or 5 hours and somebody would say, "Hey, anybody have one?" It's not somebody saying, "Hey, everybody, right now, attention, look at my hand and follow." OK Bears. They were, you know, the third highest volume on OpenSea yesterday. And I was shilling all of my friends them at 30 to 40 Solana, which is $3,000 to $4,000. And now the floor is 9,000. And it's not like, oh, Nate shilled to his friends and they pumped it. There is an incredible amount of volume happening right now on Solana. And I could go on for an hour right now on why I think that OK Bears are going to be Solana's version of Bored Ape Yacht Club, and why I think they are a good investment, and why I think that they are, like, why I have 20 of them. Why is my first NFT on Solana 20 OK Bears? Because I see what's happening. I see the tastemakers from the Solana chain. I see what's going on in the similarities between the early Bored Ape Yacht Club days, because I know a lot of people getting their first NFT and it's so hype and they're like, oh my God, this is what Bored Ape Yacht Club must have felt like. No, this is what OK Bears is building out the same way that Bored Ape Yacht Club did, the community, the team, leadership. You know, I'm not selling these anytime soon. I'm continuing to add. And if we already had this Discord established, like in the ACYC Alpha chat, I mentioned them a couple times, but if we already had this Discord established, you would have that thread. You would have that hour-long conversation where I say, these are the similarities I see. This is why you can start investing. I don't know if she's in here today, but somebody DM'd me when I showed it to our Alpha chat, and they're like, hey, I did get some, and I'm glad that you're on board. I'm going to get more. And it's kind of one of those things where you have confirmation that, you know, you think somebody that makes good investments is making the same investment you made, and you were kind of wondering whether or not it's just you. But when you get a lot of people who, you know, are usually in the know doing it, then it becomes kind of an easy buy. Cool. So that kind of ties into what's about to happen over there. And same thing, like I promise you guys that there are lessons you cannot learn quick enough to make the type of money that you will be able to achieve. Like when I mention to people what a meme season is, because they haven't seen it. We haven't had a meme season since last November, which is almost about six months away. And then before that, it was almost a year ago. And during meme seasons, they're the craziest times. Each token will do about $100 million in volume a day. There could be 10 to 15 of them. You'll get, anywhere from, an underperformance is a 10x. You'll get anywhere from like a 10x to a 150x. And I can show you screenshots that, they're not doctored, of my wallet, me buying meme tokens for, let's say, 3 or 4 Ethereum, and then selling for 120 Ethereum 2 weeks later. That's what a meme season is. And you cannot learn the skill of memes quick enough, but I'm not just going to tweet out, these are what I'm buying, go pump my bags to the moon. Like, to be honest, it's the same thing with this Discord that we're creating. If everybody has the same information, it's not a level playing field. And so that's kind of where my shill for the Consortium Key is. When I make calls, when I'm looking at something, that's where it'll be. But the grand vision is that it's not just Nate, because there are a lot of fucking people who are way smarter than me. A lot of people who can build conviction as well, if not 5 times better than I can. And a lot of people who, sometimes it's easy to say that the person who bought Doge cheap and held to the moon is, a rich idiot. It's the same thing for people to think that about some of the people who bought Bored Ape Yacht Clubs early on. But in reality, they've just, they built a conviction and watched it play out in front of them. And I've received, how people feel. I like to stay grounded and listen to what people like and what people don't like. And some of the, like most of the people who bought Bored Ape Yacht Club early, they would voice their concerns whenever they made a mistake, whenever Bored Ape Yacht Club kind of rubbed them the wrong way. But they'd always be receptive and open and always ever building their conviction. And that's kind of one of the things that you need a collective of people supporting you. Like, brother, don't sell. Like, we don't want you to leave, stuff like that. You want people who are making good decisions by your side, helping you build that conviction over time and helping that conviction stay. And so that'll be Consortium Key. We'll do that through community tools and information. So yeah, that's our pitch for the Consortium Key. More details coming soon. There won't be a massive whitelist, but there will be a lot of whitelist opportunities. And for now, like this space, we kind of try to keep it to like our ACYC and the people, our ACYC community, and the people who kind of like follow us. Like if somebody follows me or somebody follows some of the other people who shared and retweeted this, they're here right now in the space. This is kind of like the first go around to kind of, warm everybody up, let everybody kind of know what we're doing. We'll record this space and have them go back through it. Anybody who's not here at the moment, to kind of get the general feel for what the Consortium Key is. But in the near future, we will be trying to reach out for the people that we're recruiting. We're going to be recruiting data analysts. We're going to be recruiting tastemakers. And when I say tastemakers, like I said, there's a lot of people who are a lot smarter than me. And I want them to come and talk to our community. I want them to be involved in our community. It's not some pump and dump. They're not going to tell you to buy squiggly head dick buds. They're going to talk to you about NFT worlds and why they might be a good 6-month investment or 2-year investment. Who are they competing against? Did you know Fortnite gets $3 billion in revenue a year from skins? Who is doing that in the NFT world? So the goal of that will be to get to as many people who have the ability to go out and extract useful information and comparative data to help us make educated choices going forward as a collective. Boggart, do we want to do a little AMA?
Yeah, totally. I will also say, right now, if you are interested in the Consortium Key, we already do have a whitelist raffle going. If you join at Consortium Key on Twitter, if you follow that page, there is a tweet that's live right now. Like and retweet, tag 3 friends, and follow the page. And we're going to be choosing some winners for the first round of whitelist for the Consortium Key. But next to that, yeah, I think we can definitely do a Q&A. So for anyone that has any questions, please raise your hand. We'll bring you up to the stage, and we'll do our best to answer whatever you got. And otherwise, of course, as always, We are always available in the Discord. If you ping us, we're available. We have many people available as well to answer questions. So yeah, raise your hand if you have some questions and we will get to you. And if not, if we've done a good enough job discussing the consortium key where you feel satisfied at this point and aren't left with any questions too, we'll wrap up the spaces. And like I said, we're always available for questions. If you do feel like you want to be involved, of course, too, in any capacity, feel free to open a ticket in the ACYC Discord or message the consortium key on Twitter, anything like that. And, we will definitely get back to you. Sweet. Well, I think they're making it easy for us, Nate. I don't think it seems like nobody has any questions. I'm not seeing any hands being raised. So
Sweet. Yeah, well, we
yeah.
can wrap it up. I just wanted to say one last thing. If you do have questions and if you do want further clarification on how you can secure a spot or how you can be a part of this going forward, or if you have any recommendations, I mentioned NFT analysts, I mentioned crypto analysts. If you have people that would be willing to be funded by community to come in and give us these insights, reach out to me. If you have anybody in mind, that'd be very helpful. Obviously, I know a lot of people. We know a lot of people. We already have people lined up, but there are a lot of unsung heroes who don't make the threads every week, who don't get noticed on Twitter, who don't get noticed in Discord. So if you know those people who are silently right all the time, send us a DM. Cool. So yeah, we'll wrap it up here. I'm going to go back to checking the 8 chart. And yeah, see you in the ACYC Discord or send me a message here on Twitter. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. And we will, of course, have more information coming. Make sure to follow the Consortium Key on Twitter. Set the alerts up. You're going to be getting opportunities for whitelists, and so will the larger, most educated collections in the space. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and we will catch you at the next spaces.